Let's talk about this list. We got a list here. Yes. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be playing something a little bit different. Now, we do like to try to make things into combinations of cards in which we end up locking an opponent out. Now, there is a great menace among Modern currently, and that menace may be this green and blue Titan, which shall not be named. But if you were to name this Titan, it gains life, draws cards, and attacks for damage. Not only that, but it comes back from the graveyard and just makes things miserable. However, this is not necessarily our entire win condition, although it is one of our enablers in this list. Zur's Weirding. Zur's Weirding. You're not familiar, you say. Well, I'm not surprised. No one's familiar with this card. Let's read. Players play with their hands revealed. Nice. Fair magic. If a player would draw a card, they reveal it instead. Well, they were going to. Their hand is revealed. Then any other player, that's the opponent, may pay 2 life. Why would I do that? If a player does, put that card into an owner's graveyard. Otherwise, that player draws it. You got it? Good? I knew you were all so smart. Now you understand the full lock. Isn't that cool? You don't get it? Oh, well, it's simple here. We use Inquisition or Thoughtseize to strip out a few things. Got a Fatal Push and Abrupt Decay to take care of 1 or 2 things as well. But once this happens, and once we're at this point where we get up to about 3 to 4 mana with either the Gilded Goose or ramping out with maybe this Titan that should not be named in Growth Spiral, we'll eventually get to play Zur's Weirding. Now, with Zur's Weirding on the battlefield, and hopefully an opponent with having only just 2 or 3 cards that, as we see when they're revealed, are not very important to us, we can then use Gilded Goose to make food and eat that food. And food gains us 3 life. So we can do this basically every time my opponent tries to draw cards and say no to the graveyard, locking our opponent out of their draw completely. The other thing that we're doing is using this Titan as well because it can be escaped from the graveyard and my opponent won't let us have this card, but it attacking basically means you've won the game with the Weirding. Makes sense? Good. I'm glad we're on the same page. In order to get this to work though, and in our practices, we did some dumb things. 1, do not attempt to play Zur's Weirding off of Gilded Goose with only 3 mana. We did this and we're like, cool, I've got it all in the bag. And then I forgot, we needed to draw a land. That's no problem. Fatal Pushed. Opponent was just like, you'll never draw a land ever again. It was awful. It was depressing. This is why we have Life from the Loam. Now, keep in mind, Zur's Weirding, Life from the Loam, and Dredge cards, well, it's going to be a rules nightmare. So we'll let Moto take care of that, and we'll explain it if it ever comes up. Let's not run into Dredge. A lot of explaining. Sideboard-wise, we've got Aether Gusts here. We got Mystical Disputes, Mana Leaks, Blood Chiefs, just interaction, basically. Got some Ashioks here. What's interesting, though, is that instead of playing Force of Negation main, we're playing Supreme Will. If you read this, it says, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand. Not a draw, into your hand. Sleight of Hand was considered, but instead we're going to do a Drawn from Dreams, because I'd rather play Drawn from Dreams than have a 4th Zur's Weirding. With that, we'll see what you're all saying, but this is the list, and this is what we're going to start the night off with. Can you change Twitch names? Maybe I should do that. Apparently you can't. That's not related to the list, though. Zur's normally? Nope. Weirding. I see Drawn from Dreams. I'm sold. Fish, Koi Fish, amazing. Zur's Weirding is played in Penny Dreadful. What's the conditions for Penny Dreadful? Because if we do this, we might make this card expensive. Let's go. Make the card expensive. That's funny, Floppy. Let's play some Magic. Let's do it. 1 or 2 cents. Here we go. Let's 5-0 with this, and you'll never get to play with the card again. All right, let's see if we can get some Gilded Goose, Hand Disruption my opponent. Let's get a Zer's Weirding down and maybe a little bit of life gain. And we'll be able to win the game. I think it's doable. Let's make it work. Let's just ruin other formats while we're at it too. Looking forward to this little pile here. I've seen it work a little bit in testing, so that's why we're bringing it. Now, when we played Vesperlark, it took us a full month and a half before we brought it to you all. This is under 2 weeks of development. Oh boy. We'll see though, because maybe this Titan gets banned one day. I think there's some kind of rule that if we 5-0 with this deck, we can never play it again. If we 5-0 with this list, I'm gifting subs. My estimate is we will go approximately 2-3 because one opponent will just give up. It's really a 1-4. All right, we're 0-0. Opponent's 2-2. Let's play first. We are a Sultai deck. We prefer to go first. We're not some weird rack list. No Waste Not. Go check out YouTube for that. Just don't watch the most recent video. We did poorly. Real poorly. 50 play points incoming, exactly. Okay, 2-3. All right. It is a Lurrus deck. We have double Fatal Push and a Gilded Goose. We also have a Drawn from Dreams. We gotta start somewhere, right? Let's go ahead and give it a shot here. Breeding Pool and Gilded Goose. Go ahead, opponent. Make that food. Black Prison did not go well. That's because we haven't practiced yet. Snow-covered plains, Sigarda's Aid. Thankfully, I have some Fatal Pushes. Ornithopter. Ooh. Abrupt Decay, you say? All right, let's get that down. Let's see here. Mana is going to be important here. We have the double blue, so I can get this Overgrown Tomb I tucked in here. Let's go ahead and just blast the Sigarda's Aid. And we'll pass turn. Looking pretty safe here. May not use Gilded Goose, but we can, definitely. Fatal Push Revolt is a thing. Snow Duels. Yeah, we saw those. They come into play tapped, though. They're pretty. Windswept Teeth for my opponent. Getting things done here. We're against Hammer Time, so I'm liking my double Fatal Push hand here. Opponent does nothing. In that case, I'll just take the draw. Let's play a new Goose, make food token, play this in, and we're just going to pass. At the end step, we'll go ahead and make more food. Just original Snow Duels, just fetchable and downshifted? See, that doesn't sound that scary. Maybe I don't make more food. I don't know. Steel Shaper's Gift. The Hammer. The Hammer. Land. All right. We're going to just Fatal Push this Ornithopter so they have one less creature floating around. We have a Drawn from Dreams and a Growth Spiral. I don't expect anything to be hasty. That would be my assumption. So let's go ahead and fire off one of these Drawn from Dreams. The other thing is I'll have a Fatal Push, so we're pretty good there. All right. Well, looks pretty good. Definitely want the Weirding. That's the whole point of having Drawn from Dreams, to help us find this card. So that's one of them. Just Abrupt Decay, perhaps? I could also take a land, which wouldn't be too bad. I probably don't need another land with two Weirdings. I'd probably just steal the Abrupt Decay here and be happy with that. Go ahead, opponent. We're about to finish this game up. I can't wait to play this card. Windswept Teeth. Basic Plains. Looks good. No creature here, and we're slamming Weirding. Marsh Flats, Fetching, Snow-Covered Plains, a Pure Steel Paladin. There's the Colossal Hammer. So this says whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. This is probably worth Fatal Pushing here. And let the hammer come into play. My opponent doesn't draw anything. Looks good to me. All right. So I guess we will just make food this turn. I could attempt a growth spiral, but I think we'll wait on that. Would love to make some food. I'm happy they exist. The snows. Cool. Silent clearing does silent clearing things. Finds a spring leaf drum. Let's keep in mind that we are down a land right now. We'd like another land. We do find it. So I think it is time. Let's begin. Ah, you have a colossal hammer silent clearing in the snow-covered plains. Nice. Those don't look important. Opponent reveals a bauble. No. You can have that bauble. You may have that bauble. I don't care about that. Make food, use food to make more food. Now the nightmare begins? What nightmare? We're just gonna make a bunch of these. Eventually we'll draw, don't worry, don't worry. Silent clearing played. We have the abrupt decay, so I'm not worried about the Lurrus. For our opponent, possibly. Possibly. We don't know that yet. All right, we're gonna draw a snow-covered island. And my opponent's like, sure, that's fine. All right, let's put that down. Let's go ahead and attempt a growth spiral here. Revealing a gilded goose. They allow me to draw this as well. We're going to put the gilded goose down and we'll probably make a food token and pass. Is deck better 5-0? I want to see me try to convince my buddies this is meta. Now. By the way, we have Abrupt Decay and Remand open currently. Opponent checks our top. The thing is, I can always just give them whatever here. They have an Ink Moth. We'll pay 2 life. No, thank you. You can put that in the bin. Appreciate you trying, opponent. Steel Shaper's Gift. Well, what do we think about this? I guess I can just pay 2 more life. We have a lot of food. And a bauble. You can have that. By all means. By all means, take your bauble. I don't even have anything that's attacking. Opponent just gives up. All right. So, opponent gives up. We'll bring in some Blood Chiefs here. Force of Negation does look interesting, as does Mana Leak. Assassin's Trophy's a maybe as well. Ashiok is a maybe. Probably this. Opponent seems real happy. All right, Life from the Loam probably can be taken out completely. Our remands are looking a little bit weaker. We'll go ahead and bring those to the side as well. Archmage Charm looks good. I can steal something. Narset's okay because it helps me find weirding. And Supreme Will's here as well. So these 4 look good. I think it's going to be some Mana Leaks, Blood Chiefs, and maybe try to fit the Force of Negations in. Maybe take... We could take like 1 Narset out, probably. You love these kinds of decks? I wasn't happy seeing you playing Oro. But I'm good now. Yeah, it's always lock-based as we can. I think Inquisition Thoughtseize makes sense on the play here. Or sorry, on the draw. I like my Abrupt Decays. I think Blood Chiefs is probably okay because it kills just about everything except Lurrus. That's where the Assassin's Trophy is not as interesting. I could maybe cut 1 Zur's Weirding here to bring in the Forces of Negation since I'm on the draw, just to stop some sort of weird busted Sigarda's Aid a turn. I'm wondering if I want a few more like removal spells in these assassin trophies versus having like thought seizes here that won't really hit. Be a little more reactive, but I should be fine on turn 2. That's probably fine. I think we're good. A couple of Zur's weirding. The Drawn from Dreams is here to grab kind of just whatever I need, removal or whatever. Yeah, Grayus has it right though. You come to this channel for locking strategies, and this is Titan that shall not be named. Locking strategy. It does help to have a land though. We'll mulligan this initial hand, no lands. Cool cards though. Alright, this hand has a turn 2 Titan that shall not be named. It has an Inquisition. No real removal here. I can get rid of a snow-covered island here. If they don't play, say, a creature immediately, I could try to Inquisition instead of Goose. The hand's okay. I think we can keep this. By the way, I picked up these snow-covered swamps because they're sweet looking. I love the art from that secret layer. Sweet stuff. All right, opponent's mulligan to 6 with us. Deciding, is this good enough? We'll keep as well, 1 island away. We'll see how often that 1 island bothers us, the 3 lands going into 4. Breeding Pool is what I'm getting off Polluted Delta to get us to double blue and a green. But we may lead with Inquisition. Just depends on what they lead here with. A Giver. Okay. I don't think I'm in any rush. So instead of doing the Breeding Pool here, let's go Swamp here, Inquisition, and see what we're fighting. We're fighting a Pure Steel Paladin, a Sigarda's Aid, and a Springleaf Drum. Interesting. We have an Inkmoth Nexus as well, which we can block once. With the Giver, this is going to get a little bit interesting, this Inkmoth Nexus. I don't like the Pure Steel Paladin here, but I also don't like the Sigarda's Aid. I think I can beat a Sigarda's Aid though. So let's get rid of the Pure Steel Paladin and give them the turn back. I think I can, because beating Sigarda's Aid I think is possible. If they play Inkmoth, we might be at a little bit of risk here with the Giver. We'll see. We'll see. I think Pure Steel Paladin with other artifacts and all might be problematic. It could be the wrong take though. This plays the Springleaf Drum. We've got the Sigarda's Aid that should be showing up here, and is. Okay. We have one more card, which happens to be a Steel Shaper's Gift. Well, about that whole dealio. We might be just dead now because of the Colossal Hammer. Well, let's go get that Breeding Pool. Let's play Gilded Goose. And let's pass the turn. So they can just boot up Inkmoth here. They don't have another mana to necessarily give it protection. So there is that. Top deck of a Windswept Heath. Looks like not taking Sigarda's Aid was our problem now. I'm gonna fake the Fatal Push here, but I don't think it's gonna matter. They might give it protection from green. I think that's dangerous here. I think we get a block with Gilded Goose. I think we do. Maybe we don't. Who knows? Do you give it protection with me showing a Fatal Push? These are the questions that Malicious Mac has to decide. Wow. We're going to just put this on Inkmoth here and see if they want a Colossal Hammer. We'll see where this goes. They put it on Giver. I'm not as worried about this. That's fine. I'll take 11. This doesn't get moved around as easily now. Okay, so I need to put in, it looks like an island to do Uro. So let's do that. I'm gonna have to chump this, but that's okay because I will have. Well, I won't have another one of them. Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Uro played here. Does its gain life thing. We play a land. Play the polluted delta here. And we'll just pass turn. So the hammer's stuck to the giver, which is good for us. As long as they get nothing that removes Gilded Goose here, we have it on a creature that's on the ground. Obviously, Inkmoth is a little bit awkward because they'd have to boot it up and keep replacing it on there, so that's not something my opponent can do. Flooded Strand fired off here. Picks up an Plains. Uses Silent Clearing and draws a card. You don't think so? I need this on turn 1. This is a turn 1 thing to be doing. All right, my opponent attacks with everything here. We're gonna block Giver. Take our 1 Infect. Yeah, this is a turn 1 play. You're saying it won't matter here though because I have the River of Tears, and now if I play land, we add black instead, so I can't make the proper amount here, which is okay. Play Uro number 2. We get a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize takes me below where I can go. We just have to accept this 1 turn here. We're gonna gain life with the food. Gain life with the food. Boots up Inkmoth. We're dead to another Colossal Hammer. Yum. Up to 14. Back down to 3. Flooded Strand. Cracked here. Snow-covered Plains. And a Pure Steel Paladin. We top deck an Overgrown Tomb. 1, 2, 3, 4. With 2. So we're playing an Uro here, it looks like. The other thing I could do is go looking for cards. Equipments are not 0 yet, but they could be soon. Let's start here. So I need blue, blue, green, green. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, the Inkmoth will make it 0. Fair enough. Well, we'll draw a card, see what happens. Forest. Don't get to shock this in. All right, so we're going to be chump blocking, unless they do something with moving it over to Inkmoth, which I guess we're still chump blocking. I suppose this game, well, it's hard to say because they got rid of Pure Steel Paladin. So Garda's Aid with the Colossal Hammer. Steel Shapers off the top was kind of rough. So they move this over. They decide not to give it protection here, so I block it. Okay. Colossal Hammer is going to fall off unless they move it over, which they don't. All right, so I have a Bloodchief's Thirst now, so we're in good shape here. Giver is going to stop Bloodchief killing Pure Steel Paladin, so we need to probably dig for something. What's up, Dan from Brazil? So we need another removal spell. I'm probably just doing this off of these lands right now. I could do it like this, probably, and do a dig here. So look at the top 4 and look for a second removal. Abrupt Decay would probably be the best thing, or Assassin's Trophy. There's another Bloodchief's Thirst. Well, that does it. Depends on what the Giver gives the Pure Steel Paladin here. So we'll give Blood Chief's Thirst to hand. I guess I have to just hope that they don't have they don't name black over here. We'll see what they name. I could see them giving this protection from black here. They do give it protection from black. Okay. Looks like we're dead. Boots up Inkmoth, slaps over the Colossal Hammer on it. Another Steel Shaper's Gift. Now they can put 2 things down. It's kind of interesting. Because I could Supreme Will it for funsies. Boots up an Inkmoth. So now they have enough. Yep. All right. What's up, D20? Just popping in quick to say hello. I'm gonna watch some Disney movies. Disney movies, nice. These are the next 4. Next 4 would have given me a Gilded Goose. That would have been a potential blocker, but I wouldn't have had the land. All right, we got to beat them in game number 3. Game number 3, huh? Yeah, D20 is going to have some good times. Good times. All right, I feel better being on the play. We'll just kind of send the same list back. Maybe look for a little more removal or hand disruption. Pretty happy, though. Archmage Charm's kind of interesting because we can gain control of the Sigarda's Aid if it's already been played, and then the Sigarda's Aid's not as good for them because it'll be mine. Not that I have a reason to be playing it. But yeah, this River of Tears is strictly for the Inquisition Blood Chief's Fatal Push's Thought Seizes right at the beginning. That's what it's here for. Yeah, Zur's Weirding's a weird one, but basically we play Revealed Hands and have fun. That's what it says. It gets really interesting in Commander. Commander card. This is also a really strange art of it. This deck is the second one in that list. And we have Zoo Landfall later and potentially Red Punisher if we get to that tonight. All right, opponent, what are you going to change up here? Actual Zur? No, Zur's Weirding is the card. Zur's Uro Weirding. Let's play first. Let's find some removal. I have played as Solemnity Zur pile, and I don't particularly like them. All right. Overgrown Tomb with the Polluted Delta Inquisition. We got the Assassin's Trophy Fatal Push. Got this random Archmage Charms, a little awkward. We can keep this though. This feels pretty good on the play. Take something, kill something, go from there. All right, let's go get that Overgrown Tomb. Mana gets a little awkward sometimes. All right, we have a Memnite, Ornithopter, and we have a Springleaf Drum, and we have a Sigarda's Aid. So it's clearly Sigarda's Aid here. We do have an Inkmoth, but we have creatures that I can kind of get rid of, so we'll get there. We'll get there. Snowcover Plains, Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, or Memnite. Use Springleaf Drum to play new Springleaf Drum. Don't tell me you top deck something amazing, opponent. I've seen some of the spoilers. I don't keep up with the spoilers as much because I kind of enjoy the day of. If I were to play some of the draft, all the surprises. But I keep up with them enough that I kind of will glance through some things so that I can share them in Discord. All right, what's this extra mana doing? Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, make your white mana play your Steel Shaper's Gift that you top decked. Why the long pause, opponent? Wow, they played exactly what I said they should play. All right, we've decided cranial plating is what they want. All right. Let's go ahead and safely play Gilded Goose and pass turn. That's all you need to do is just play for your opponents. Super easy. The call, though, the call of what I had, I didn't know what they were going to go get, but I don't control my opponent's draws, obviously. Cranial plating here. So I guess I eventually Assassin's Trophy this, Fatal Push one of these, and steal the other one. I kind of want this flyer. Flyers are cool. This is perfect. This is what I want to kill. Goodbye. Get out of here. That was fun. Nice. All right. All right, I think we're just going to kind of leave things up here. I'm not too worried about getting hit with the Ink Moth one time. We can Assassin's Trophy it. There's a Flooded Strand, and my opponent has some random card that I could Archmage Charm. We didn't know the gift, naming it and being exactly that. It's pretty nice. It is pretty nice. I'm just that good sometimes. Sometimes I'm just that good. Cranial plating on the Ornithopter. Everyone see the line now? Everyone see the line? Attack me. Yes. Make sure. Gain control of Ornithopter. Gimme. I guess I should have gained control before they tapped, right? But then they wouldn't attack, so I'm good with this. Everyone going, you should have done it before they attacked, then they wouldn't attack. All right. Growth Spiral here, put Assassin's Trophy into play and do this. Yeah, let's just see what the next card is. I think this is fine to do here. I'm Assassin's Trophying. They get a land, but they don't get their Ornithopter back, basically. And now I can attack for 3, which is kind of cool. Didn't expect to be doing that. We do need to draw something here. My opponent needs to whiff here. Pure Steel Paladin, that's not really a whiff. Marsh Flats, I'll fetch with you, opponent. Let's look at our libraries. Nice. They're gonna take back their cranial plating here. Oh, they didn't take it back yet. They didn't take it back yet. All right, I have a lot more blue in the deck. Let's Growth Spiral. Whiff. I guess I'll attack with Ornithopter and pass turn here. They'll eventually unequip it, and I don't want them to do that just yet. We're gonna take our whiff at land and hide it in hand. Shadow Spear, Pure Steel Paladin trigger, draw. What's up, KO? How's it going, KO? You saw the rest of the list, right? If you're happy about Goose, you're gonna be happy about other things. Oh, dang it, they figured it out. There went the plating. Goodbye, plating. Thought Seizes, ha, take 2. This is a fun Goose list, it is. Attaches, we have Lifelink and Trample now. Not really a reason to attack with Goose. Let's go ahead and make some food. Green. We'll take our 7, go to 5. Top deck is another land, not very good for us. Play that land they know about. We'll pass turn. Not looking very good. Twitch allows you to do both. Uh-oh. All right. Well, we end up drawing just a breeding pool here. This gets equipped, and that's just too much. Opponent gets through and kills us. Colossal Hammer gets it done. Drew a few too many lands here. Uro being played. I would have had enough to rebuy the Uro and have Drawn from Dreams as an option as well. Didn't get there. Didn't have quite enough removal, so we'll be mindful of that going forward with our stuff. But hey, 1-2 to start things off. This is all you care about, KO Diamonds. That's it. That's all you care about. Let's go to match number 2. But when I click deck lists on mobile, it keeps the stream running in the background. All right, no 5-0s tonight. Not with this list. That just means we'll have to revisit. Here we go. River of Tears. This is why I'm playing it. Keep. This is exactly why I'm playing it. For this scenario here. Ah, Gilded Goose. What are you doing showing up? Ruining my fun. Well, I'm shocking it anyway then, over the course of 2 turns. So let's shock here and let's Inquisition, see what's up. Classic Boomer build around. What? What are you doing? Ooh, all right. We have a Mana Leak here and a Growth Spiral. Interesting. I guess I'll take the Growth Spiral. I can deal with the Mana Leak here with a Thoughtseize, which is fun. And we'll do it. Let's see who's better at this game. Me or them? Island played. Gives me the turn back. Play this land. River of Tears makes black. Thoughtseize. Gonna steal that Mana Leak from them. Mana Leaks. Nope. Goose go. Cool. 4-color pile spotted. Maybe. Maybe it's not. You don't know. Oh. I know 2 of the cards and I can get this down this turn. If I give them another turn, they'll have Cryptic online. This would be the turn to get this down and see what's going on. And then we can do the goose and the food until the end of time. Let's go. Do you have a counter, opponent? Do you have a counter? This is why we're doing this. Make them read this card, question mark? Do I think Titan that shall not be named? Oh. They just have an Omnath. That's pretty good. Just an Omnath? Okay, here we go. Got to play an interesting game here, but my opponent will never draw again, right? A Triome. All right. I probably allow them to have a Triome. I have 18 life. We do need to be careful about our life total. But if I don't let them draw another land, they're stuck at 4. They can't actually cast Cryptic, and this gives them Cryptic. Pay 2 life. Go to the bin. Go to the bin. We'll just have to beat an Omnath. We can do it. Fun times when Zur's Weirding counters Cryptic. Land. I knew about that. Play that Omnath. 4/4. Heh. Heh. Field of Ruin. That would give them the blue they need. To the bin. Narset looks exceptionally good here. All right, they bin my Polluted Delta. So rude. Definitely going to play Narset because this actually gets me the opportunity to go looking at cards, but they don't get to know what I've got going on here. All right, so I have an Abrupt Decay that necessarily doesn't do a whole lot here. I have a counter spell as well, which is interesting. So the question is, do either of these do anything? Unfortunately, this isn't like an Assassin's Trophy. Shh, FR isn't addressed. They don't know right now. But they don't, I guess they don't get to select here. Exactly, they have no idea right now. I guess I take an Archmage Charm and kind of do the like draw a whole bunch and force them. And I'll have 1, 2, 3 here and here because the Abrupt Decay doesn't hit anything. So Archmage Charm, Breeding Pool tapped, and go ahead opponent. I've got the goose. Another Omnath here. It's interesting. They could reset Omnath. Make me cry. I guess I just pay 2 life now. Get out of here. No cards for you. Attacks Narset. I feel like I'm supposed to block here to give me a chance to draw one more thing with Narset. But this does put us in a weird spot where I can't always Infinity go after them because I have a 12 here. I think I block. Oops. Let's go to blocks. I think I block here. That way I get one more look here with Narset. Because I have ways to get rid of this Omnath. So I want to give myself those ways. My opponent sees a Growth Spiral on top. Archmage Charms 4 damage to them. It's true. It's true. Opponent's like, Growth Spiral with Zer's Weirding. Do I allow this to resolve? Then he just does that. Oh. All right. Let's take a look first. See if I can find an answer for Omnath here. I find a Fatal Push. Fatal Push would kill Omnath in the event that they go after Narset here. So I suppose I take this. I will attempt... Do I attempt a Growth Spiral here to try to find a fetch land? Obviously, they don't want me to have a fetch land. I know they know about the Fatal Push. I think I'm just gonna put a Watery Grave in and pass turn here. And then I'll be using Archmage or Growth Spiral. So an island here again would unlock Cryptic Command. Do I care about this like this? Let's just pay the 2 life. We're seeing how this works out. They're not going to go after Narset. And they know I'm going to like Archmage or Growth Spiral here. I'm going to probably Archmage. Maybe I Growth Spiral. Let's go ahead and Growth Spiral now. I reveal a Misty Rainforest, so they won't give me that. No surprises there. I'll take my draw now. I'm at 6. There's another Fatal Push. They can probably give me that. The text on the side of the screen is weird. What? Okay, so here I'm gonna go ahead and use Archmage Charm to draw 2. Archmage Charm number 2 shown. They may or may not give me that. They don't, and now they see an Uro. Uro is what we needed to see. Uro plus Fatal Push locks this game up. I just need to avoid a draw here off the top. All right, I'll read it, and the next time there's a trigger for Zer's Weirding. So we've revealed an Uro, which is kind of weird because, okay, so they put Uro to the graveyard. Okay. So trigger for them, we just hope they don't get an island. It is it's a lightning bolt, no! Are you kidding me? Have a lightning bolt opponent. Attack Narset. Do it. Oh, I had the Uro too. We were there. The bolt showed up. We were there. Close, close. Omnath confirmed OP. Maybe. All right, Blood Chiefs are in for the fatal pushes here for the most part. Don't care about Assassin's Trophy. Interested in Force, Mana Leak, and Mystical Dispute for the most part. Can take one Remand out. Drawn is probably okay to take out as well. That's 4. That would be these 4. And then just find 2 Forces in for 2 Remands. Seems all right. Seems all right. We're not doing Drawn from Dreams because Drawn from Dreams is not that great against a control matchup. They'll just end up countering that and then continuing on. I need the Blood Chiefs in for the fatal pushes. That's what I needed. There we go. Light from the Loam's a little bit interesting here. We can probably get rid of that. They're not going after my lands. What's up, Odysseus? Take one Supreme Will out. Seems all right. Cool. Let's go for it. Trophy kills field. We're not gonna, it won't matter. It's not gonna matter. Let's play first. Watch, it won't matter. We're gonna keep this hand. I left to push him because I only have 2 Blood Chiefs. Okay, so we can start here with a probably an Overgrown Tomb, it looks like, based on mana base. Let's steal something. Steal something. Alright, what are we stealing here? There's some Mana Leaks. There's an Aether Gust for red or green permanents. Kind of interesting. We have an Ashiok there that kind of messes up our Uro. We have an Omnath, which I think I can deal with. So let's get rid of the Ashiok and play through the Mana Leaks. Playing through the Mana Leaks shouldn't be too much of a problem. All right, Steam Vents. Extra Goose. We'll double down on putting 2 Gooses in. Taking a lot of damage. Unsure if I like taking so much damage. All right, 2 Gooses down. Let's see what they want to do here. Scalding Tarn. Supreme Will. Well, let's go ahead and Uro. They might counter this. I could see them also Aether Gusting this. If they do, I'm going to bottom it probably. The geese have been set loose. Opponent's fetching and shocking. Breeding Pool. Aether Gust will bottom. No attacks. Gotta leave two mana floating. Alright, Aether Gust has been chewed up here. Double Mana Leak Omnath. There's their own Uro. Okay. They ramp a little bit here with a Temple Garden. They do shock this in, interestingly enough. We have an Inquisition. So what is this, Veil? Play Uro first. I guess I'm hoping that this isn't like a path. I feel like it's a Veil though. It's an Archmage Charm, so we put no. Go ahead and pass the turn. I'm not gonna throw an Inquisition into that Veil. We'll worry about that Veil later. All right, it's looking like I need to bring in another land after these first few matches. So we'll probably be adding a land after we play through the league. Scalding Tarn, we have 4 things in the yard, not 5. currently. Omnath played. It did not hit my land for Supreme Will, ended up hitting Archmage Charm. Draws a card. So there's a land. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'll play into the Veil that they have. I could Archmage Charm it or Supreme Will it. Here's the Stomping Ground. My opponent gains some life here. We know it's 2 mana leaks here. So is this even worth countering? Probably not, because I can counter Uro on the way back down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't quite do it twice. We'll see what happens here. Feel like Money Pile is going to be just a bit stronger because we're trying to use Uro in a way that my opponent's not trying to use Uro. That being a friendly way. How much do we want to bet they have another Veil here? Trying to play Uro here. I guess I'll do this with a Archmage Charm because the Supreme Will is a little bit stronger for me. No Veil mana held. That's good for us. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will make it 5. Counter. Cool. Get out of here. Plays a Triome, gains 4. Probably just attacks as well, because that's what Omnaths do. New Uro. We're gonna play the one in the yard. Green, green, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw a card. Inquisition, huh? Let's go ahead and make a little bit of black mana here and check out what's going on. We have a Mystical Dispute and double Mana Leak, plus a Field of the Dead. That's 7. Oh, what did I click? I was moving it out of the way. Well, I picked a Mana Leak, apparently. That's not good. I wanted the Mystical Dispute. All right, so there is the Field of the Dead. We didn't get Zur's Weirding down fast enough to prevent this from being drawn. Omnath makes a token here. We know it's Mana Leak and Mystical Dispute, though. We don't know what the last card was drawn here. Looks like it's Hour of Promise. Very nice, very nice. Hour of Promise gets another field plus another thing and generates 4 more zombies. I think we lose from here. We don't have a board wipe. I can't deal with 10 power on the board here. Can block, chump, chump, take 6, go to 4. Force a negation, huh? Play Uro to gain some life. We'll see if they dispute or Mana Leak this. They could do either. Disputes. I guess it could only do the one. Pass the turn here. We have this Field of Ruin as well, which gives them another 4 zombies. I think Zur's Weirding is taking a backseat to the Omnath money pile here. Probably can hit this concede button. Ooh. Ooh. At least I get the Supreme Will here. Get rid of this Mana Leak. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. If I play something here, they get to they get to bring Uro back, so we'll just wait here and take 10, block. All right, so we're blocking Omnath, we're blocking just a zombie here. Mana Leak and an unknown card. Hopefully it's not another Omnath. This Omnath dying means that Uro can be played now. But there's no other choice here. Green, green, blue, blue. Plays Uro, draws a card here. If it's another land, they just get more tokens. Yeah. We're very dead. We're very dead. I'm not gonna make my opponent play it out. We don't have a Wrath effect. If we had a Wrath effect, I'd be playing more. End up drawing Mystical Dispute wouldn't be enough. All right, 1-2-0-2 with Zur's Weirding, sporting Uro as part of the lock piece. Yay for money piles. Yay for money piles. All right. So you're thinking we should have the Blood Chief's Ascension in here? For that hard lock? Could be pretty good, but then I think I want to power out. But maybe that's just part of the plan. Maybe we should be playing even further into on it. Let's see how this entire league goes, and we'll see if we need to. All right, 3 mana Zur's Weirding, 2 removals, and a counter spell. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. I can go get my Triome, probably. The Triome's been nice to have, but it's been kind of bad for us because we end up wanting to do something on turn 1 as well. So there's something to be said about our options. Need to be taking these notes. Opponent mulligans to 5. Let's see if they keep 5 or not. Okay, they keep 5 here. We have a Wooded Foothills, cracking this, finding themselves a Stomping Ground leads off with what? Shriekhorn. Speaking of playing that Triome. All right, so in this matchup, I want to get this down ASAP here. Let's go ahead and play Goose and pass turn. This is going to be interesting. Speaking of getting the Dredge matchup and talking about Zur's Weirding, it's going to be a fun time. It may require a different build. All right. Shriekhorn with a Merchant Ox to the bin here. Ox is a valuable card for them. Shriekhorns again, finding Bloodstained Mire and Shriekhorn. Okay. We're not dead yet. Wooded Foothills here. All right. So, looks like I'm going to leave myself open a Supreme Will. I could Abrupt Decay this. My opponent didn't really put anything in the yard. Go get a Watery Grave and Abrupt that? I think that's probably the plan here. Just because there's just nothing in here that's too worrisome, and I'm going to get Zur's Weirding down probably next turn. How does Weirding and Dredge interact? You can either look up the Gathering page, or we'll find out shortly together, even though I know how it works. 5, 6. There's 6 cards in the yard. They need 8. They'll get it with Zur's Weirding. We'll have to deal with an Ox soon, it looks like. Forgotten Cave, Cycles. Bloodstained Mire here, which gives them enough for the Ox, but they don't end up pulling the trigger. All right. Let's go ahead and put Breeding Pool down, Shocking in. Let's go ahead and get the Zur's Weirding going. All right. We're ready for you, opponent. We're ready for you. They're like, what? Why can I see your hand? Aha! Cool, huh? It is cool. It's 2 replacement effects. I'm trying to remember how it works for 2 separate ones. Good. Zale's trying to figure it out. You got it, Zale. I know you do. All right, let's see that top card. Life from the Loam. Interesting card here. Ox exiles 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think I care if my opponent has a bunch of mana here. Cathartic Reunion is a little bit frustrating here, but we're going to say no to the Life from the Loam. You may have. Okay, so they're going to fetch here, which makes them spend 2 on this Life from the Loam, which is super nice for us because then we have the Supreme Will for the Ox. All right, Life from the Loam, Bloodstained Mire, Cave, and another card. Doesn't matter, we see everything. We see everything. Plays a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cathartic Reunions. Discarding 2 cards here. Draw 3. So we can say okay to this. No dredge. And hit 3 Creeping Chills. Alright. Damage done. So there you go. There you go. That's how it works. Growth Spirals found. Alright, Water Grave tapped past turn here. Not really getting too far here, not with them having a Conflag here and Ox. They got Life from the Loams and Golgari Thugs. Pretty bad matchup for us. We need Ashiok. You assume correctly. Yeah, because we don't get to play, we don't get the option as well to interact with it, so it just gets kind of weird because of the layering and which one goes on top and which one doesn't, which replacement effect happens and stuff like that. So it's a pretty bad matchup for us. Looks like we're going to see probably Ox here, which I'm going to potentially Supreme Will. I don't know where this is getting me though, because it just goes back to the graveyard and my opponent has a Conflag here for 6, so they could just kill me. We'll see though. See if they want to do anything here. I assume they're just like, that's fine, I'll Conflag you and kill you. And we'll be going to game number 2. Yes, no, maybe so. Are they afraid of a force negation? They shouldn't be. Everything is clear to you, opponent. They don't go for the kill, even though all information is available to them. It's alright. It's okay. Gemstone Caverns here. They could go for the kill now. Will they? Or will they not? I assume they would. See, we get to play 2 decks at once. That's actually the benefit of Zur's Weirding. We get to see what our opponent's doing. We can full commentate on what should be played. It's like you're getting a double league here. It's like a double league. We're always winning with Zur's Weirding. 6 damage to me with Conflag. Nope, decides Ox is the way to go. Ditches their hand. I don't understand. Stinkweed, Narcomoeba. Stinkweed, Narcomoeba. Stinkweed, Narcomoeba. Prized amalgam triggers. They just want to keep playing versus Weirding. They're just so enamored, right? Right, KO? They're just like, this is crazy. They just want to take game actions. We draw a Misty Rainforest. We're dead. We'll just pass the turn. We're gonna concede. All right. I'm done playing with you, opponent. Let's go to game number 2. This card needs to be in. That card needs to be in. Some Force of Negations can be in here as well. The mana leaks are all right. Light from the Loam can be ditched here. Thought Seizes are not very good. Probably just the Inquisitions as well. Yeah. That'll work. Let's go. Let's go. Would I like to play first? Yes. We have Zur's Weirding. Supreme Will. I'm going to keep it because I'm not really sure if this matchup really results in anything. The Supreme Will can help us try to find an Ashiok. The Remand maybe helps us as well. Really, we just need Ashiok in this matchup, but Dredge is not what I wanted to run into today, so we're going to keep a loose hand here to make it a quick game. Or maybe it won't be. My opponent's really thinking about all these options, though. My opponent mulls to 5 cards. We can get that Triome, by the way. Excellent. Triome in play. Wooded Foothills. Cracks the Wooded Foothills. Stomping Ground. Finds themselves a Shriekhorn again. Triome played for us. There's our 1 of Fatal Push. Glad to see that made it into the hand. And we'll pass back. Lightning Axe and a Wooded Foothills hits the bin. Shriekhorns again, finding Shriekhorn in Stomping Grounds. Takes a draw. Copperline Gorge. We're going to remand this Cathartic Reunion. We'll do it off of a Breeding Pool. Back to hand. Try again later. We pick up a Polluted Delta. There's an Abrupt Decay. All right, I think I have to allow the Shriekhorn to happen here because the Cathartic's there, and I want to Supreme Will the Cathartic. So we'll just have Shriekhorn do its thing one more time. Hope to whiff. Creeping Chill and a Prized Amalgam. I consider that a reasonable whiff here. We take 3. They gain 3. Interestingly enough, my opponent's not interested in going any more with us. We will just continue to play fetch lands here until I can play Supreme Will plus Zur's Weirding, because I know that Cathartic's over there. My opponent will take a natural draw. Here's the 2 mana. Cathartic again. So we can Supreme Whirl this. My opponent will probably Dredge instead to get around Zur's Weirding here. This is now countered. We just have the Life from the Loam, so an Ashiok off the top would be really nice here. if I could so kindly. No Ashiok. Let's continue to just do counter spells here. I can remand this Life from the Loam, and again, hope they don't hit anything too crazy. They hit a Stinkweed. Where we're going with this, I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. So let's go ahead and remand. See what else we draw. A snow-covered island and a misty rainforest. So we're not really hitting anything that works for us. Put Breeding Pool in sideways past turn. As I don't feel like Zur's Weirding really benefits us anywhere in this matchup at this point. Narcomoeba's been found here after the Golgari Thug. Followed with a Prized Amalgam. I can at least kill both of these. Double red now, and they'll go ahead and play Ox. No, Cathartic Reunion. They ended up top decking that. Stinkweed, Stinkweed, and Life from the Loam. We have 3 Bloodghasts here. No lands, though. We know a Prized Amalgam's coming back here. So we'll kill the Prized Amalgam. Have a Growth Spiral. Doesn't really matter. We're looking for an Uro or Ashiok. We hit neither. So they have a Life from the Loam. They get back the Bloodghast here. They have Prized Amalgams coming back. We just have Zurs and a Fatal Push. We'll concede. All right, Dredge beats us. There's Ashiok. One more deeper and we would have been able to lock the game up probably nicely. Oh well. Oh well. All right, next one. Is Zur's Weirding doing well? No. Did we expect it to? Well, I said what? 2-3? 2-3 coming up. I'm not thinking we're even going to make 50. Oh, hold on. We're on track for that 2-3. If we hit Dredge again, maybe not. But if we don't hit Dredge, we'll be good. We'll be good. I have faith. We're good. If not, then we'll smash people with the next list. And if that doesn't work, we'll smash them with a third list. Match 4 coming up here. We get to go first. Let's play some Magic. Let's keep. Looks like I get to lead with a Breeding Pool. And get down a little Gilted Loose. Go away, Dredge. Go away. No one wants you here. All right, we have some pretty good cards after this. We just need to find our key pieces. Inspiring Vantage for our opponent. Play a Polluted Delta and pass the turn. But Dredge is fun. Honk. Honk, honk. Battlefield. Inspiring Vantage Battlefield. We'll just give us the turn back. Ooh. Let's, we're gonna hold it for a turn here to make more food. I'm a little bit nervous about my opponent being able to kill a Gilded Goose. Red-White Lockout, it kind of looks like that. Sunbaked Canyon now? I'm going to remand this, I think. If I remand, they're going to get to play it again. I could Supreme Will this. Life total doesn't matter a whole lot against Red-White Lockout. Let's just remand here. Draw a little bit further. We get another remand. Play Misty Rainforest. Is this a Zura Weirding turn or not? Probably not. I can now Supreme Will, and then I can play Zura's Weirding with Remand up. Gotta beat Red-White Lockout. That's the goal now. So countered. Not this is really benefiting us a whole lot at the moment. Sunbake Canyon. I wonder if that's going to be a Mana Tithe. You never were successful with Remand. Remand is a way just to dig into ways to win the game, where sometimes people treat it like it's supposed to be a counterspell. In this case, I'm wanting to dig to find just, I guess, answers. All right, Zura's Weirding. Let's see what's going on, and they'll know I have a Remand. This is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting, opponent. Here comes the Mana Tithe. All right, in response to the Mana Tithe, I'm going to go ahead and do this because now the Remand is valid to draw with. Hit up Growth Spiral. All right, so we have Boom Bust, Ghostly, Mana Tithe, Molten Rain, Oust, and a Sacred Foundry. They're going to get a Pillage. We have 1, 2, that would be a third land destruction spell. 1, 2. I think I'm going to say pay 2 life, throw it away. I can kind of work off of 2 because I have the Polluted Delta and I have a Gilded Goose. So let's see what my opponent decides to do here. We're going to Molten Rain the Triome. Does so. All right, we're at 9. I'll have to watch our life total a little bit here. Sacred Foundry. Shocks it in here. We're just gonna bust as well. Or the boom side. Boom away the Watery Grave. They're like, well, you got a Polluted Delta, so you could fetch this, you could fetch that. They don't like this. All right, Snow-Covered Island is our draw. We'll see if they want to give me that. They don't. Would you give me the next card, which is an Abrupt Decay? Probably. From here, I'm not really sure if I can lose or not. We'll find out. All right, opponent's gonna top deck a Pillage. I have 4 mana, I need to keep them off this. Pay the life. I could use another green here, but I also have Gilded Goose. We'll see if they oust Gilded Goose here. If they do, I might just go get basic. Besides Ghostly Prison's worth it here, that's fine. Yeah, I can. I need like an Overgrown Tomb. Looks like a nice card here. Yeah, I should be fine from here on out. Gilded Goose, we'll see if they want to give me that one. Because we're going to make food and gain. And then I don't have to make them draw anymore, but they can oust the Gilded Goose. So things get a little bit interesting here in a turn. All right, so, oops. Make food. Go ahead, opponent. Not to mention they have 2 lands that are painful, so. All right, we're trying. A Baneslayer Angel. All right, well, I can make them so they never draw another land. Baneslayer, huh? I guess I'll go ahead and pay the 2 life because I have the food. can't push that exactly. Sunbaked Canyon to draw Sacred Foundry. We'll go ahead and go, you can have that land. So they get a land back. Keeping them at around the 4 lands is fine. Extra Sunbaked finds a land. We'll say, you can have that land too. I don't mind them being at about 4 lands. That doesn't bother me. Shocks in so they have Mana Tithe open. Or Oust. Ooh, they're going to Oust here. All right, we're going to eat our food here. They're ousting Gilded Goose, so we gain a little bit more. We're up to 10. So we have a little bit of room here before we find Goose. Growth Spiral from us. They eventually have to let me draw because they have 5 life. I will attempt to Growth Spiral here. Gilded Goose. And oh, they let me have Gilded Goose. Okay, Gilded Goose. Ta-da! The end is near, opponent. The end is near. Sunbaked Canyon. I say no. I don't need to worry about Sunbaked Canyon. Puts them up to 5 here. They get a redraw. You can have a land. I don't care about that land either. I don't know why they would oust and let me have it. Who knows? There's Uro. They're like, oh, that's what you're building up to. All right, Uro's in the yard, so now we use Uro, and they concede. We got there. We did it. So there's Weirding and Uro in the yard. All right, so my opponent can definitely do a rest in peace here. I guess it's Force of Negation to prevent that. Mana leaks are probably not a bad thing. Fatal pushes can come out because of what the list is. We can do a Life from the Loam because Life from the Loam is for actually a matchup sort of like this with some land destruction. So we can do a pair of Life from the Loams. Kind of like this. I know Assassin's Trophy could get rid of a Chandra or something else, but we have a lot of counter spells. I don't think I need to worry about this. This is for like bigger threats. There's no such thing as cool Uro decks, but this is close. That's the goal. I don't need to really Abrupt Decay anything. I'm probably just happy to take the Abrupt Decays out. I don't care about a Ghostly Prison. We can fight through Ghostlies. I can fight through like 2 or 3 of those. Shouldn't be a problem. Maybe I take like a Thoughtseize out and bring 1 Assassin's Trophy in just in case. All right, well, let's give this a shot. We're trying to make Uro cool. Ooh, all right, I like this. We can keep this. I wish I had a fetch land, but other than not having a fetch land, this looks pretty decent. Got the Weirding. We got it. So weird. Keep. Goose is Weirding or weird food. The deck does not deserve a name right now. Fetch land. Didn't hit it. Exposing green's a little awkward here, but we're trying to keep our life total high. We'll see if they boom bust us. Flagstone's available. Boom bust online. We're gonna miss green. Suppression field. Oh. We're good. We're good now. Now I got Remand. I'm safe. I'm safe. Now we're gonna try to boom bust. You missed your chance. Get out of here, boom bust. Into a Growth Spiral. We can Inquisition. New Flagstones. I can Inquisition away that Stone Rain, so that's good for us. All right, Basic Swamp's a little awkward here. Triome. So Growth Spiral. Draw a card. Because it's a Thoughtseize, I'm now going to play River of Tears, and I'll play the Swamp here. Oops. Wait. Oh, I didn't play the land. Interesting. All right, well, now I did. Like, what's going on? Inquisition. We have a suppression field and a pillage. Well, I don't care about the suppression field, so we'll take the pillage and I'm gonna thought seize the boom bust. Gimme. All right. We have a suppression field. Cancel. I believe we have another boom bust if I'm not mistaken. They had 2 cards. So one more boom bust here, gonna take like Overgrown Tomb away from us. That's fine. Couldn't get rid of them all. We tried. Why aren't we just jamming Uro? Because I was trying to thought seize and ramp myself out to Azur's Weirding. All right, suppression field here as well. All right, polluted delta is not happening. We'll do this and pass turn. Because the whole deck is supposed to be focused around this, not this card. This card's for later. Pillages away a Triome here, putting us off of our lands now. Oh, we're so close. Life from the Loam is here for this exact matchup. Just need to find a way to get it into hand, or into the graveyard. 4 mana, Boil. All right, we lose an island here. Need to hit some lands. Uh-oh. It's 4. You gonna boom bust me again? All right. Double suppression field, polluted delta, and can't play it. Can't crack polluted delta into double suppression field. We're falling apart, everyone. We're about there. Can Life from the Loam dredge? Don't kill anymore. No. No. Our lands. All right, we're gonna continue to play Magic. Why? Because we just need green mana now. We miss it. We can get rid of a Weirding. I want to keep the Uros because I can play those and like draw dredge. Life from the Loam, do some cool things. There goes Island. Goodbye, Island. Can I even call this playing Magic? We do this to people all the time. Of course we can. Inquisition. Now they're gonna blow up my polluted delta. They reconsider. All right, we'll throw Uro away now. Yeah, but it's fun when I do it. We have to respect other people will do this to us. There's a Magus. I probably can't beat this. We'll go one more turn here. So I wasn't planning the suppression field because I don't play suppression field myself in a lot of the red-white lockout lists. Let's see if we find a land here. We do. All right. We're going to continue to play here briefly. Let's get rid of Supreme Will again. Kids are still playing cops and robbers even when the kids are in prison? Oh, man. All right, we've hit our breeding pool. We're going to see if they have a follow-up, and if not, we get to Life from the Loam. And if I get unlocked here, we have a shot at this game. Because I can now hit lands for days. We'll see, though. 2 cards is 1 land destruction. Making red mana. Making not red mana. Making red mana. Pillage. Molten Rain. All right. Take a top deck, see if it's what we need. We haven't shown them Life from the Loam yet, and I don't plan to. Rest in peace. All right, we can concede now. Okay, let's bring these Abrupt Decays back in. Let's get rid of... You know what? Let's get rid of the Narset. Let's get rid of our remands for 2 abrupt decays. Let's bring a Thoughtseize back in for another remand. Are going to get wings, 50 play points. We've got this. We can beat this opponent. This opening looks great. Let's keep. Great as in I can't use Life from the Loam, but I have this abrupt decay. You know what? Should we have said this was great? Look at this non-blue hand. Very Golgari. Triome. Help? What a bad keep. I'm a professional Magic player. Sacred Foundry for our opponent. All right, it's getting better. It's getting better. Inquisition for starters. We have a Suppression Field, Stone Ray Molten, and a Defense Grid. All right. Suppression Field's kind of frustrating. A Defense Grid I can deal with. Let's get rid of the Suppression Field. Maybe yeah, because I have to do the activations with Gilded Goose afterwards, so let's get rid of the Suppression Field. We'll see if they play a Defense Grid now, which is what they should do, and then I can Abrupt Decay it. Need a fetch land. Inspiring Vantage, Defense Grid, completely fine. Look at that mana leak right on time. All right. In this turn, we'll just Abrupt Decay and pass. Destroying a land isn't the worst here because I can use Life from the Loam. Battlefield Forge. I could also force this. So there's a Molten Rain. I feel like I could force this, knowing that they just have a Stone Rain after this. Even though the mana leak's decent here, I think the force is fine. There's a land, which is good to see. And pass turn. They will be able to Stone Rain something, but we're going to wait like a turn or so for Life from the Loam to be a little bit better than just a singleton card we're picking up. I suppose I could just fire it off immediately, right? Wouldn't hurt us. There's a land. I guess it hurts us if they have a, it'll hurt us if they have a Rest in Peace. Let's go ahead and grab our land here. Probably should have put that in because it came into play tapped. It's all right. We have 4 mana to us. Okay, what's next, opponent? What are we doing? There's a Rest in Peace. So there goes our Life from the Loam. I will probably go ahead and just Assassin's Trophy this before we lose too much more here. Dang. Let's go ahead and make black mana here. We'll go ahead and Assassin's Trophy. They get their land back from the Battlefield Forge dying, but I don't lose this necessarily to Rest in Peace because I do have another Life from the Loam buried somewhere. Play our Triome. Let's go ahead and make a food token and pass turn. F6 button value here. Go ahead, opponent. Would love to see Zur's Weirding. I could end the game here. Molten or Pillage Rain. Choosing to use this off Sunbaked Canyon's incorrect, but they killed the Triome. Okay. Well, fetch land. We'll definitely use the fetch land over anything else here. Go ahead, opponent. Worth considering cycling the Triome? No, not really. I think I need to pressure by having a land in play each turn. Fetch here with the Suppression Field on the stack. We need a little bit of black in our lives, so a little bit of Watergrave. Come on, Zur's Weirding, where you at? Another boom bust? Can't activate this. What is this? Man, they got everything. There's Uro. All right. Shock in the breeding pool. Play the Uro. Trigger, trigger. Misty. I don't get to use the Misty because of the suppression field, but if I get another turn here, I get to play Uro. My opponent will need to destroy another land here, which looks like they might be able to do that. In which case I'll have to be paying for the Misty. All right, so breeding pool dies. If I get an untapped land, Uro's coming into play. Get another Misty. So we can use this and pay 2. Snow-covered islands. I probably should be doing this on their turn, but basically from here I can use Gilded Goose because it's still a mana ability. And then we'll fetch. We get Uro now. Blue, blue, green, green. That's not a bad card to have in the future. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna get rid of the fetch lands because they're a little bit harder to use. Leaving myself 3 lands in the yard. Draw and get to play something into play. Pass turn, and now we have Uro. Where's my Zur's Weirding? Where's Zur's Weirding? Cascading. Attack. Well, it looks like we're gonna win the old-fashioned way. I believe Oust might be their only out. We're pretty good here with an Archmage Charm, and my opponent's used Boom Bust a few times on their own lands. Not getting too much here. It's a Ghostly Prison. I don't think I care about Ghostly Prison, honestly. I'll let that resolve, because I can pay 2 and still leave Archmage Charms up. New Goose. Do it this way. I think this game is unlosable, probably. Uro. Got some goosies. Got some goosies. Play a goose. Make a food. Play a goose. Make a food. Goose Tribal. I think we're good here. Think we're good. And Zur's Weirding has won a match. If we would have gotten Zur's at any point here, we would have had plenty of food stockpiled with the Gilded Gooses to negate several draws from our opponent. Just couldn't find it. Couldn't find it. Makes us 1-3, and 50 play points is still on the line. Let's go to the 5th and final match. Today is the day, the zoo day? What zoo day? All right. Chance for 50 play points. First outing was Zur's Weirding. The Goose Scoop. Landfall Zoo. Landfall Zoo is next. Landfall Zoo is next. But we're weirding people out first. But you can see if we can get to about 4 or 5 mana with a Goose or basically an Uro, play that Zur's Weirding, and we can win the game from there. That's the idea. All right, 1-3 against the 0-2. Let's play first. All right, we have the Goose. We have the Inquisition. Let's keep this. Let's lead with Inquisition to see what's up and see if I can safely put Gilded Goose down or if we need to hold Remand. Yeah, it's the play fetch lands, make big things, smack opponent deck. That's what's next. That'll be the next one. So I'm finding my mana a little interesting from time to time, and I do need up to one more land for sure. We'll talk about it in the conclusion, though. All right, what do we have here? Oh. Ooh. I'm gonna take the Arbor Elf here. I can work through the other cards, as scary as they seem. We'll work through them. All right, Wooded Foothills, fetches. Do they just find this Arbor Elf? I'll be really sad. Then I'll have to play Remand. Oh my gosh, you found Arbor Elf. Utopia Sprawl. Well, if I get a land that's appropriate here, I can Abrupt Decay that. I did find a land. Let's go ahead and play Remand here. Remand is really only a tempo play for one turn. Maybe I can Remand like a Heliod or the Spike Feeder. There's Gavany. Because it's green here, they have to play, looks like Heliod, so we're gonna Remand Heliod. Try again. Extra Goose. Extra Goose. Okay. Nice. All right. We're going to Inquisition here, so I can take one part of the combo away from them. Which looks like we're going to take... Skyclave doesn't worry me too much here. I think I have to take Heliod because I can kill the Spike Feeder. So Heliod, goodbye. Shock and Goose, and go ahead, opponent. Right now they can't play both Skyclave and Ranger because of Temple Guard and Utopia green, which is good for us. We'll see if they want a Spike Feeder. Then we'll probably Abrupt Decay them. Looks like it is. There it is. Well, and they can't cast the other cards anyway. All right, so here, probably just New Goose and Abrupt Decay the Spike Feeder. We could also just probably wait here because I have a Remand. So let's just take it easy. No rush, no rush. So this loses to a Path on their own Spike Feeder, I suppose. Horizon Canopy. Definitely no rush here. Makes white. I assume this is going to be Ranger. Ranger gets Remanded. Goodbye, Ranger. Inquisition to take Ranger. Sounds great. I'll allow that to attack. No worries here. Go ahead. So I can Fatal Push this and I can Inquisition something away. Let's go ahead and start with Inquisition here. So we have a double Ranger and a Skyclave. Well... it's a bit frustrating. Suppose I take one of the Rangers here, though. And we'll just pass the turn again here. Leaving up Abrupt Decay and Fatal Push. Probably only going to Fatal Push. Wooded Foothills. So Skyclave and Ranger in hand. Temple Garden. Shocks this in. We're gonna boost with Gavany Township here. Plays Ranger. So Ranger gets Walking Ballista. They're gonna just slap out a Walking Ballista here. make black here off of food and fatal push the ranger, or am I fatal pushing the spike feeder? I'm gonna kill the ranger here. This looks a little bit pretty precarious position to be in, because Walking Ballista could be saved by the ranger and they get a Heliod down and things could get really not good. We'll just say that. I'm probably gonna be trying to do Drawn from Dreams here. I'm really hopeful for lands. Oh, I find another Abrupt Decay. Oh, well that probably changes everything. We'll just give them the turn back. Apparently we're just gonna use these gooses like crazy. Extra Abrupt Decay makes me want to just blow up the spike feeder. I'm probably okay to take the 2 here and just wait to see if they do anything before end step. Our life total is important, but not as important because they can just infinite kill us. So I'd rather see if they want to do any actions here before attempting to kill something. Maybe even Skyclave getting rid of a goose would be okay for them. It's tough to say. If they do try to play a shorter Walking Ballista, like a 1/1 with the idea that I might kill this and they move tokens over here, we just gotta be aware of that for Gilded Goose. This could be also just a 2/2 Walking Ballista, which means we lose a Gilded Goose because of this. But that's just gonna be, it's gonna just be part of it, it looks like. So we'll Abrupt Decay one of these, and Gilded Goose is gonna kill. Is gonna be killed. Alright, shoots goose, shoots goose. Okay. Land? I do hit a land, it's a tap land, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and play that. And, gonna go ahead and kill this and pass turn. Alright, kind of leaves the windows open here, but we know it's a Skyclave and some unknown card. I feel pretty safe. I'm probably going to just be ramping out a Drawn from Dreams here next. So we're trying to beat Infinite Combo here. That's what we're trying to do. Conclave Mentor's a pretty good one. They're just going to follow this up by killing Gilded Goose with the Skyclave. Heliod's a pretty good one. So we know Skyclave, that's all we know. I will pass the turn. Or should I just Drawn from Dreams? Maybe I should Drawn from Dreams and just hope they miss for a turn. They got a redraw here as well. Yeah, it's probably Drawn from Dreams. Trying to pick up 2 things that are going to matter next turn. Gives them less draws to draw out. Yeah, we're going to risk it. I'm thinking, hey, I could counter something, but that's not going to matter. I'll have to find a kill for this at some point, but I could Zura's Weirding plus Gilded Goose. This is going to grow a bunch because of Heliod giving it lifelink. Zura's Weirding's just killed by Skyclave Apparition. This may be like land, like Forest Gilded Goose potentially. I could also Thoughtseize with Polluted Delta to get rid of this, making future Zer's Weirdings or Uros nice. Let's go ahead and steal the last card here. Let's do it off of a fetch. I do have a basic swamp in the deck, and that keeps my food around. All right, I'll take that last card. Thanks. Like I said, Conclave's gonna grow quite a bit here. Maybe the Supreme Will can find us the last piece of the puzzle. We will see. Top deck. A lot of things still kill us here. And Azur's Weirding doesn't quite get us out of this now because of the Heliod Conclave combo. That makes double green. Spending 4 mana, it appears. Collected Company is a hot one. Collected Company could result in some problems. There's a Scavenging Ooze plus an Arbor Elf. Alright, these don't kill me just yet. However, Scavenging Ooze stops Uro. No block. There's a really good one off the top for them. Pretty good. I need to draw with Supreme Will to find removal. Like I said, Zer's Weirding doesn't win it because I can't really put a card to the graveyard. Because then they just swing out and Gavany me. This finds a whole lot of nothing. Supreme Will's in the deck because it gets around Zer's Weirding. This really doesn't do anything for me, does it? Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, so game number 2. Need a little more removal. I don't really have a way to get rid of this card. Don't have anything that stops abilities. It's really just have like Aether Gusts and Assassins and Blood Chiefs, really. Don't have a whole lot. I have 8 life gain sources. I mean, I think 8 life gain sources isn't too bad. And then I have kind of like a third interaction and a third just cantrip type of things. All right, so they make everything big here, and because of Conclave, they good to go. All right, so there's a Fatal Push. Sideboard. Blood Chiefs. Assassin's Trophies. Probably just Mana Leaks. I don't think I want Aether Gust, even though Conclave is something I can hit. Light from the Loam can be pitched here. Probably just some of the Remands and then a Narset. It could be that. This is the very first time we're playing this list. People wanted to see lists faster before I'm ready to play them and like be able to present a good win. We're doing that. All your suggestions are all possibilities. So this 5 out for this 5? Maybe. Please remember that Vesperlark took 18 iterations before we ended up 5-0ing. This is like Vesperlark iteration 1. And I'm not sure if we're going to take it very far. It's just to get a taste of this idea. Just a taste. We don't know what deck this lives in. We don't know. Could be this one, could be something else. This is technically iteration 2. All right, let's play it first here. We got that extra removal. Opening hand looks fine. We can go get a Triome. And then have Mana Leak or Growth Spiral to start ramping things out. We decided black for hand disruption because getting rid of some cards before you play the Zur's Weirding felt really important. But maybe Temur is a good idea. Maybe it is. Who knows? All right, let's see what this first card is. Oh yeah, blue and green's where we started, for sure. It's just what do you add after that? That's the question. All right, got a nice Fatal Push here. We got the Mana Leak. We're looking pretty good. Running 6+ bolts just sounds real good. Could be. Could be. All right, well, I'm gonna try to fire off something here. I'm gonna go get a Watery Grave. And we will Growth Spiral, putting Breeding Pool into play, hopefully. We'll put Polluted Delta now and fetch with Polluted Delta. Get a Breeding Pool. Looking pretty good now. Land Uro. Play Uro, have a Breeding Pool come into play. And then we have Mana Leak open for this Heliod that they're going to play on turn 3. Play Polluted Delta and pass turn. We're not going to play the Gilded Goose because I need to stop a Heliod here. You used to be the Zur's Weirding guy in the Commander group? Nice. We're not necessarily trying to be that in Modern. Just something that is crossed our mind here. All right, apparently my opponent's just not playing Magic. Strange they are. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go ahead and shock in this just so I have Mana Leak open. Green, green, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Played all our fetch lands so that we have a row here on turn 4. Okay, draw a card, do all that stuff. We hit an Inquisition I'm not ready to play. Pass the turn, leaving Mana Leak open, Inquisition Fatal Push, and a Gilded Goose for next turn. I guess it's a slow Collected Company. We're playing against Heliod combo. All right, we have a Gavony Township. We gonna play a card here on turn 4? I've got a 6/6 plus Mana Leak open. What do you have? Plays a Utopia Sprawl. Okay. Now what? 3 mana. Choke's a no-go. Choke's a no-go. We have a few too many islands. Veils this. All right. Well, we'll get around it. Who needs that anyway? We're gonna have this Gilded Goose. We'll be fine. We're gonna be fine, everyone. I guess that's what they're holding. All right, Gilded Goose played here. Makes some food. Helps unlock some of our colors. Uro's gonna come bashing in. They still have to beat the big one. That's correct. No follow-up. Pass turn. Down to 11. So they probably had Choke and Veil, and they were just waiting to do all of that. Plays a Forest. We have 2, 4, 5, 6 mana, 3 cards. Arbor Elf. We can definitely kill that. Collected Company is also an option for our opponent. Let's go ahead and just go combat with Uro to start things off. Can always use a fatal push to kill something, which is nice. Oh, 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 oh. Collected Company at the beginning of combat. Okay. Can't do anything about that. No mana leaks, nothing crazy like that. We'll hope they don't hit a Skyclave, I suppose. Uro's fine in the format, I think. I think personally Field of the Dead is the problem card. I personally think that's the problem card, and I think Mystic Sanctuary being fetchable is a little bit of a problem as well. I'm not saying Mystic Sanctuary is totally a problem, but I think in combination with Uro, being that it's fetchable is just kind of interesting. All right, we find Heliod here, we find Ranger. Luckily I can Inquisition away, but if they do this block and then use Ranger, we're in a bit of trouble with that. We're gonna still offer it up here. Because I can still like Fatal Push. So my opponent doesn't block or do anything crazy like that. So I think this is an easy Inquisition my opponent and force them to have this off the top. So Inquisition, hope the last card's not a Veil because it is Walking Ballista plus Unknown. What's up? Ooh, Collected Company. All right, that's pretty good. All right, well, you got a Collected Company. You can hit Infinite Life, perhaps. Happy New Year to you as well. How goes it? Horizon Canopy. So we have a couple redraws or Collected Company. Decides redraw first. Completely fair. Now, ironically, because of the Gilded Goose using the token, I don't have another black source right now. We'll see if that punishes us. Three mana Ranger. Ranger can go get Walking Ballista. Walking Ballista can be put on 2 currently because of Arbor Elf. Doesn't kill me, but they have 2 Rangers here, so they can Ranger on their next turn and Ranger on the following turn. I will need a untapped black source, hopefully. And my opponent to not use Ranger at my upkeep. That'll probably be how I get through here. My opponent attacks for 8. Interesting. I think they could just hold back with everything. They don't need to lose to a random removal spell or 2. Like, I don't think my opponent's thinking of, like, Nature's Claim. Not that I have it. But with an infinite combo, I think I would hold these 2 back. They don't even gain life here, so they're going to have 4 mana for Collected Company. I'm not sure we've got this. We're close. We're close. Choke got us, though. All right, top of the library is a perfect example. Won't really matter too much. It is an Overgrown Tomb, which is an interesting card. It leaves myself Fatal Push for their turn. So we will play this in. We're going to go ahead and attack with the Uro. Depending on how they sequence this, we might be able to get there. At the beginning of combat, we'll see if they decide Collected Company for trying to get a Skyclave. Untaps here, goes to 4. It's going to play Collected Company here at beginning of combat. Collected Company hits. Could be a miss. If it's a miss, they have to block with this Ranger. Unlikely. Conclave plus Scavenging Ooze. So they'll just chump block here with the Scavenging Ooze, it looks like. In for 6. Draw a card. Extra Inquisition I cannot play. Scavenging Ooze blocks. And we'll just pass the turn. So now they can fire off the Ranger here so they don't lose the Walking Ballista, and then they can just play Walking Ballista and be good here. Yep. And even if I kill the Conclave in response to that right there, killing the Conclave doesn't do anything because my opponent can use 4 mana instead. So yeah, it looks like our opponent gets us through a few Rangers in with the choke. Without the choke there, I think we take over that game and win it. There you go, though. Zur's Weirding. Well, there you have it. Make sure they attack me. And puts this on. Walking Ballista. All right, you're good enough. Well, 1-4. Needs some work. Needs some work. There's many things that we could end up doing here. We could take it into red. We can do a little more of the Blood Chief's Ascension and go still with the Sultai colors. I do think Uro, though, plus Zur's Weirding is something that could be explored a little bit more and maybe has some potential. I should have played Blood Moon, maybe later. I do want a 25th land. We saw some of that becoming a bit of a problem. Life from the Loam was probably just a reactionary inclusion from some of my testing, so we could probably get rid of this and put in an extra land, going to 25. It does seem a little funny to go to 25 when really you're only wanting to get to about 3 mana for the most part. And the 4th mana is just the game ender. It's kind of funny, but you know, sometimes that happens. Sideboard can use some work. We've got some work to do here. A different list, though, and did go off once or twice there. We almost got against Hammer Time, and we weren't too far off against that final matchup either. So there you have it. Zur's Weirding with Uro. Something different to think about here in Modern.